Hi Andy, this is Kevin. So I'm just going to make you a quick tutorial about the website and how things basically work and show you how to edit that careers page. So once you log into the site, you'll see this. This is called the dashboard. You'll see over here a whole list of things down the left side. You can always click on this dashboard element to get back to this sort of home page. Primarily in the site, we use the portfolio posts to manage all the fleet listings. So you'll see all the fleet listings here under portfolio. And then the remaining content is all under pages. So really those are the two areas that you'll be concerned with, portfolio and pages. So if you go to the pages, you'll see the list of all the pages that are in the site. Anything that's set as draft means that it's not published. In this case, we have two careers page, so I'll trash this one. That's so it's left over from when we were building the site. You can at any time go up to the top here and hit visit site, and it'll load the site. And what you'll see is this toolbar now that you're logged in. If you don't see the toolbar, click the refresh element over here on your browser and it should show. Once you're in the toolbar, then you can see this edit page. So any page you're on is immediately accessible. So let's go to the careers page and you'll see it says edit page. I click that and now I'm in the page editor. In this page editor we use a component called the Visual Composer. Visual Composer allows us to create more of a layout structure to the page using columns and rows. You can add and edit columns and rows through this add element component here. So like if we add a row, it will add a component down here that can be dragged and dropped. It can be set to multiple columns, and then within the content, within the columns themselves, you can add content types, primarily the text block. And once you add the text block, it pops up over here and you can edit the text. I'm going to trash this row because we don't need it. But in this case, you'll see here are the components of the page. There's a divider that's just a little spacing at the top. This is the headline component, so if you click that, you'll see the headline. In this case, the headline is set here to heading 2. That just sets the type style throughout the site. There's heading 1, 2, 3. So heading 2 is one that we're using basically to call out a larger headline. The bulk of the content should be set to what's called paragraph here, which is basically the standard styling. In this case, the bold has been set just to make it a little more clear. So these are the two listings. So if you want to edit either of these listings, click on, just hover over it, you'll get this green element, click on this pencil icon, and it'll pop up, and you can expand this box. And there's the content. So if you want to edit this, it's as simple as going in here, making an edit. You have to hit the save changes for that edit to take here, and then anytime you're done editing the page, you click update. Hitting this update automatically publishes your changes to the site and makes them live. You have to wait for it to stop spinning. So one way to use this, the editor, is to open a new tab using this. You can see this view page component. So now I can see the page that I'm editing and see the page, the code behind it. Okay. There's some other stuff down here. This manages the header image. This is where we upload it. There's some settings in here. This is the text element, the careers take next step, that shows up here. Okay. So let's say you wanted to change that to take the next step today. You would just enter that here. You would update the page, and once that stops spinning, you go here, refresh the page, and it should show up right here. Okay, so it's as easy as that. If you wanted to make more listings, the easiest way to do that would be to clone this whole row. You can clone any row using this little icon here. Click that, it'll duplicate the row below. So this is all the same content, all the same settings. Let's say I don't want this listing at all. I can just trash it and that row goes blank. And then I could put in a new listing here with whatever formatting you want. If you want to make links, so like this is a link for email, you highlight the component you want to link from, click on this Insert Edit Link, and in this case it will automatically recognize that it's an email address, so it inserts the correct code, mail to careers at Lyon Aviation, and you hit Apply, and that makes the link, and then just hit Save Changes. If you wanted to make a link to an external site, let's say Avinode, I don't know why you would want to, but let's just pretend. You pull up the page that you want to link to, copy the URL, go to the page you're working on, highlight the word or the phrase that you want to connect, have be a link, hit the link tool, paste the URL. If you click this options, it'll give you some choices, and one of the primary ones being open link in new tab. If you're leaving the website, it will open it into a new tab as opposed to moving within the site. And you hit update, and that makes a link. Okay? And then you can remove it like that, or with this remove link tool here. Okay? So I'm going to trash this row, which we don't need right now. And that's basically how you manage that. If the formatting of this and 2 columns isn't working for you, we want it to be 1, 2, 3, columns on top of each other. It's really quite simple. We can actually change it right here. We just push that, and now it puts the first listing here and the second listing here. It really depends on what you want for the formatting. I just made the 2 columns because I felt it was more interesting. And then I set the columns to have a little bit of a gray background so that they stood out from each other. And that kind of thing happens in the column setting right here. You click on this little pencil, and you can put some padding in, which means basically some margin, and I've set a background color to be this gray. All right. In terms of other pages and other types of edits, if you go to the home page, for instance, you'll see that it's fairly complex in the visual editor. If I click this edit page, first off, the slider, the big lead image, is contained within this Nectar slider component, which is actually managed over here. So best to avoid that. But here's some basic formatting, some spacers, the header. These are these little fancy boxes. Basically, they give us some content areas and an image and a link. So you can edit this text if you want to. It's available to you down here as well. That's all editable text. One thing to be clear with is if you bring in text from a like Microsoft Word, it often will come in with a lot of formatting. The best thing to do if you're pasting anything like that is to actually there's 2 tabs here, this visual and this text tab. This text tab will actually show you any code, any actual HTML that's underneath. So in this case, it's centered. That's the code for that. If you paste text into this field, it'll come in as plain text with no formatting. And then you can switch to the visual tab and then just basically do things like center it, bold it, set italics. Okay? I'll also send you some links to some tutorials, general WordPress tutorials, but this is specific to the site. All right, that should pretty much be all you need, and let me know.